Welcome to a new session of The Elder Kings. Woo! Yeah, where did we leave off? So we are playing as Elrang, the Cautious. I don't know why we're the Cautious, to be honest. Probably because we got paranoid or something like that. We are an Ayleid, a Heartland High Elf, and we are going to reconquer the kingdom of our ancestors that was wrongfully taken from us for some reason. I don't exactly remember why. We're worshipping the Ideal Masters, the Lords of Solcan, the evil Necromancers. We're not a particularly nice boy, actually. But when it loads, we'll go over our provinces. We've conquered quite a fair amount of provinces at this stage. We started off with, 5 provinces, and we've expanded out 4 or so. Unfortunately, we do have to act quicker, because Snapvine is getting pretty large. I started heading into Elsewhere. And the Falanesti are also pretty large. So we're going to start moving in on those pretty soon. We can create a kingdom basically as soon as we can afford it. I think it's just favor we need. You need 200 souls to create a kingdom. So our favor has now been replaced by souls because we worship the Ideal Masters. And we need 792 gold. So that is quite a big ask. I think once we finished our Battle Mage training in the Mages Guild, we will switch over to the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild give you a flat national tax modifier at the higher levels. So I think that's what we'll aim for, assuming they'll obviously invite us to join. So, what are we going to do first? Well, we've got a son. His name is Hain, and we have another son called Magical Keith in lower caps. Now, Magical Keith is much, much better than Hain. Hain is pretty god-awful, although Hain does have some good traits. Plateful, Curious, and Idolizer are all pretty good, and most of them have good outcomes. I'd argue Curious has no negative outcomes and a fair amount of positive outcomes. And I think Idolizer, again, if it results in perhaps Zealous, or I think Erudite actually would be the best outcome for this scenario. Again, Playful, Gregarious, and Deceitful are pretty good. Lunatic isn't necessarily too bad because it gives you some unique dialogue options you wouldn't normally have. I think Magical Keith, however, is going to be the heir. We'll see which one comes out the better mage, and then we'll sort of judge the stats when they're of age, because we can just designate an heir whenever we want, because we have... We're primogeniture, but we can designate heirs. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's something unique to Ayleids, maybe even Ideal Masters. Not sure why that is. Obviously some reason. Because that's not normally how the game plays. Regardless, it's pretty good. Obviously, it's not a bad thing at all. We do have righteous imprisonment against this fella, so we will. You may recall we are worshipping Hermaeus Mora secretly, which means we can offer him artifacts, prisoners, that type of thing. And in return, we can get potentially powerful artifacts, like the one we have here. The Circlet of Omnipotence reduces the chance of plots succeeding against us, which is obviously incredibly powerful when we are trying to essentially convert the religion and culture of all the provinces we are conquering. So, also we have this permanent army of Daedra that I've summoned from Oblivion. So let's just quickly conquer this. So you're probably wondering why we actually put this dude in prison, considering he's a pretty good priest. He's got 1990, that's pretty exceptional. Well, let's say we can sacrifice him to Hermaeus Mora. Rulers actually give you more favor. So if we sacrifice him, and there's actually another lady we can sacrifice there. I don't know who she is. Somebody from Cyrodiil, anyway. If we keep doing this, eventually we'll be able to obviously get boons from him, such as Wealth of Oblivion, which is the one that's going to potentially give us the artifacts. I must remember next time I do that, though, that the dude that we just executed, his successor, I think is this, apparently has some pretty good artifacts, this being an ebony sword. But right now, what we'll do, focus on buffing up... Oh, we were trying to steal an artifact from Orkney. We're never going to be able to do that. I'm going to cancel it for now. We want to open up our spellbooks and summon just about as much Daedra as possible, as often as possible. And build up our forces ready to try and take out the Falanesti, sorry, region over here. We're the Falanesti, aren't we? Oh, we're the Sylvanar. Right. Non-aggression pact with someone. They are in a revolt right now, rebellion. So assuming they're victorious, it will hopefully break it up a little bit. Hopefully it's an independence war rather than overthrowing. It's a civil war for Gavelkind, which will weaken the realm either way and allow us to move in on it. Hermaeus Mora is gazing outwards. That's the Daedric Prince we're worshipping, obviously. You're going to get told news about that. I'm going to turn that off. You don't need to know every single time, seeing as we're just sort of taking artifacts from him now, so it's not hugely relevant. We've got Witch's Pox. Hopefully this spell will cure it. It did. And we're a pretty good mage ourselves. 43 learning. It's obviously massive. We do have an increased revolt risk there. Right, so unfortunately Hain got playful, which is a malice when trying to train him in learning. Hopefully it won't matter. Again, both his parents are necromancers and master mages, so in theory it won't matter too much, but we'll see how it goes. Prime opportunity to practice my restoration magic. So these are sort of minor missions for the Mages Guild, which are giving us surgical renown and allowing us to rank up and increase our skills. Which do we want? I kind of do want greedy. It's a plus 10% flat tax modifier, so we're going to take that just so we can try and afford to make this kingdom sooner. We're not exactly getting much gold. Can we raid our neighbours? We can. So we could run some raids into Skingrad or into Kavacha, or is it now called Linchal? What happened to Kavach then? Seems like he lost all his land. We could do that and maybe earn some cash on the side. Obviously they're Daedra, so we're not too concerned if... we've got them raised all the time anyway, so we might as well actually put them to work. And someone became slovenly. I can whack it out of him, and he just loses the trait. Or we can try and get him to become vain. What does vain do? General opinion, attraction opinion, same trait opinion, but minus 5% to national tax. I think it's probably worth it. We're going to try and go for that. He actually just became frail and slovenly, so that's god-awful. Hain is slowly leaving my good grace books. There's 10 gold right there. Obviously we can't go too far inland because you can only raid borders. In with our neighbours, specifically. I like the sound I haven't got the trait raided. Now that gives martial buff, right? Martial, personal combat, same trait. Hey, that's pretty good. We will burn down this church as well because it's just the type of guy I am. Alright, let's go ahead and move into... We can raid these boys. Are they particularly wealthy? According to my screen, they're tribal, which means they've probably got barely anything. It's also all protected by forts. That province isn't bad. I don't think it counts as a neighbour, though. No, you can see that there's the border runs across. What about, say... This province might be worth it. And of course, it's always good to run raids into these provinces if we're about to declare war. So say next time we go for Silver Knight. In fact, I might even go into Silver Knight now because it's got 5 holdings. So if we siege all of them down, that would be a hell of a lot of gold. And we just want to form that kingdom as soon as possible so we get access to more crown laws, things like that. And another pretty decent son, fair and melodious. Again, you're going to be trained in faith. Alright, this shouldn't take too long. 2.5 gold. Obviously, that was just a tribe, so when we start moving on to these cities, we'll have a bit more. 7.5. I gained the trait just. Wow. If we give him Stonefall. Where is Stonefall? That is my Dutch and 200 gold. Sorry, Dutch. I was thinking of Dutchy. Just and 200 gold. I don't think it's worth giving him that land. Saying that, though, I'm going to give it him and then fabricate claims. Oh, sorry, I should say fabricate a rebellion and just imprison him and sacrifice him and take it back. Ah, the issue is he's a Cura. I wish I'd noticed that before I'd given that to him, because that means it's now going to fall to another Cura or a priest in this scenario if I execute him. Anyway, our gold is quite hefty now. Let's go ahead and make that kingdom title. What do we need? 200 souls. So we can potentially make an offering here. Let's go ahead and cast this quickly as our last one for a while. Just get to 2,000, that's all. Let's go ahead and bring these boys together. Just merge the troops, leave them raiding. We can probably develop some ruins here. We introduce my heir to the realm. I think we're going to do that just in the hopes that maybe we can get rid of some of these negative traits. What else do we want to do? Sorry, we want to make an offering, that's right. We could probably repay that loan as well. Because by the time we actually get enough souls, we're going to have enough money to be able to afford the kingdom anyway. Getting a marshal, I owe him a favour. Sure. It's always good to have a decent backup heir. So we could just leave them there sapping their monthly income, because they will just loot. If you look at that, they're basically increasing our monthly... Oh, 0.72 every 4 days. What's that? 7.2... 0.72 times... sorry, I should do... I could do this in my head, but I'm far too lazy. Let's assume there's 30 days in a month. That gives us 5.4 extra gold a month. No, wait, that's not right. Calculator. What are you... Oh, God, it's Windows 10 calculator. That explains why none of my keystrokes are working. So obviously we do 30 divided by 4. So 7.5 times 0.75. Yeah, no, it was 5.6 gold. I was right. So there's an extra 5.6 gold a month. That's actually doubling our monthly income if we just leave them there. Obviously, we're not affected by tax modifiers, though, so we can't quite think of it like that. I would like to... Okay, we have righteous imprisonment, and it is against the dude, funnily enough, that we just kind of landed that I said. Can we revoke his artifacts? That's the real question. It doesn't look like we can. Oh, it's just a real shame. It'd been nice to have just taken his artifacts away, but what instead we will do, offer him as a sacrifice. Now, I assume as he's a priest, I imagine we'll get a pretty hefty amount. 115 isn't bad at all. Whoops. I should try and click the button this time. There we go. Let's move that over here a little bit more. We can make him an offering of gold, 42 gold. And we do actually gain souls for that. I didn't know that, so that's pretty handy to remember. Let's go ahead and go for an artifact. We've got the Ring of Necromancy. Now, as we're a Necromancer, that sounds pretty damn useful. Good lord, that is good. It has the trait Necromancer. You have to be a Necromancer for this. Interesting. Trace it back to the Dragon Priest Azidal. It says plus 1% moral damage, plus 3 learning is huge, and plus 1 health. Wow. We got incredibly lucky there. Alright, let's go ahead and siege this province. So, we do need to start educating Magical Keith at this point. And we sort by learning, and there we go. Obviously, we convert into Ideal Masters. That would be pretty great. Pretty ideal. Do I want to become bitter rivals with my firstborn to give ambitious? I really hate this mechanic. It was taken out in CK2+, and I think it was a really, really good idea, because as it stands now, becoming rivals with your son is obviously not a good idea, because you're just going to get assassinated straight away. If it was Magical Keith, it might be something different. However, I'm going to give him Diligent, and then we're going to cast a spell on ourselves to remove Stressed. So let's go ahead and... Soothing Melody, I believe. My stress will dissolve like the morning dew. There we go. Alright, good as new. So we can summon some more tomorrow, but obviously we're saving up those souls. So there's no way to offer a sacrifice. Prostrate Greedy, that's a shame. But we do, however, our ruins have found some treasure. Just gold by the looks of it from both. I don't think we got any other artifacts. No. Alright. A traveling poet calls himself a bard arrived today. So for as long as he likes, why not? And we gain favour for that, which is exactly what we're after. Alright, let's go ahead and siege these. So we could get Proud and Vain. Prestige, Dynasty, Opinion, Health, Diplomacy, Attraction, Opinion. Humble, however, gives favour, right? But you know what, I'm gonna do that. I'm not going to try and make any more rivals than I have to right now. Alright, let's drag it. Oh, we can actually take this one as well, because we do share a border with it here. It actually might be more beneficial in hindsight to head straight down the middle. That way we can siege on either side quite healthily. Maybe clear up some of these tribal lands as well as then conquer it for ourselves so that we're not sieging tribal lands, because they're obviously not going to give us much gold at all. I should probably put myself in charge of these armies. Although we miss out on some events because we count as the leading troops, it will develop... So this game has an... oh, we got the mysterious chest. This game has an active character battle development, so every time your skills improve, the more battles you're in and things like that. So it might be more useful us leading troops as we're sieging. Okay, Hain became a master mage. Pretty good. Not bad at all. Alright, that's pretty handy. We can choose a new... oh, we could take Warlord. So Warlord basically gives you a permanent malice. Like, people dislike you because obviously you're a Warlord. However, it gives you lots of really powerful casters' bellows to just quickly snatch up a lot of land. So I'm actually going to take that. So to succeed in that, you have to declare a Warlord law. A Warlord war, which will then give you the trait Warlord, which you can then use to push for any old claims. Obviously, it costs a lot of prestige, favour, things like that. But it's pretty worthwhile. Obligate the vassal. Alright, okay, we should get a decent amount of gold from here as well. 4.1. Charismatic preachers convinced when I have embraced their cult. What? Have I now? No, I don't want to change any religion. Ideal Master with secretly Hermes Mora seems a fairly good combination. We can summon massive armies of undead. I have really nothing to worry about. We don't share a border with here, do we? Let's test it. We can siege it, but I don't actually know if it will give us any gold. Well, we don't have the do not loot option here. Yeah, sure, we're going to have a new friend. That's not a problem. We have a lot of gold right now. Holy shit. Alright, sweet. If we made slavery legal, we would be able to take slaves from all these provinces that we are sieging down. Now, our wife is pregnant and we're worried that it might not be ours. However, that's probably more likely because we have the paranoid trait. So I'm not too concerned about anything like that. Let's go ahead and move up here. Again, the downside of this is making all these people hostile to us, and they will be hostile to us for quite a while. I think it's a year. And another genius son, Churhane. I'm going to call you Churn Milk. Churn Milk. It's vaguely elven. Oh yeah. So we've got, sorry, one fair son, one genius fair son, one fair melodious son, and one genius son. So obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, Magical Keith is still the best boy. Affectionate, haughty. He didn't get Idolizer, which is a big shame. I wonder if it's to do with the fact that I'm leading troops. Again, I'm not sure if they've affected the education system at all like that. Alright, so we've finished looting. Let's go ahead and leave. And I will stop leading armies, just in case it's impacting Magical Keith at all. I want everything to go his way, basically. Let's go ahead and give him some gold, just so he is a bit more friendly with us. Develop more Alien Ruins. Well, given how well they've gone for us so far, I think we'll definitely be doing that. And we can convert this province's culture. No domain province starts with foreign enclaves. So we can actually only have foreign enclaves in one province by the sounds of it. Oh, that one stopped converting because we give it away. Okay, my mistake. I wouldn't have given that away in hindsight if I'd have remembered that. Unfortunately, there is no real way to tell. It is just, you know, a tiny province modifier here. Alright. What, sorry? Minor soul harvesting. Souls to leave +1. Wow. That's massive. Considering, let's put it this way, building a temple gives you 0.9 or 0.7. Here's our ruins again. Gold, gold. Gonna try charitable. We're sort of flipping between the two. Either is good. Either we're getting tax or we're getting vassal opinion. Neither are negative in this scenario. We can imprison a lot of people. We can imprison my son. What's he doing? Kill Magical Keith. Hane. You brought this on yourself. You're going to prison. Mainly because I don't like your hair. You're going to prison because you can be put in prison. Hermaeus Mora needs sacrifices. Okay, well, we have a lot of things going for us right now. Hang on a second. So we can level up. We've got council position. Obviously, we can make some sacrifices to Hermaeus Mora. He has a province over there as well. I didn't realise. We might end up with a accidental amount of theocracies under us, which would be an issue. Oh, one of my vassals took some land from Kavach there. Go ahead and siege down this one then. We'll do nothing for now. I don't need my vassals potentially disliking me any more than they already do. Did I just lose war score? What's happening? Maybe kill some of his troops? Oh, they are his troops, I see. There we go. And we'll head back up here. I assume he counter-sieged a holding? Oh, it's them marked as raiders. Right. That's exactly why this isn't working at all. I accidentally just sieged my own lands, but never mind. Okay, there we go. Righteous imprisonment against my wife. Who wants to kill... Oh, okay, I don't care about that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a new steward. He's okay. It's not great. We're just using them for the domain buffs anyway. Magical Keith. Oh, my lord. Hopefully he'll still come out well. You know, despite the fact that he has playful. These can all turn into good traits anyway. I should probably start educating my other sons. And hopefully by the time Magical Keith comes of age, we can educate Churn Milk as well. Still can't make that title, eh? Can we sacrifice? Still can't sacrifice. So we could send 750 gold to the Mage's Guild to try and convince the Archmage to stand down so I can become Archmage. Obviously only one person can be Archmage. We are, however, Master Wizard. We're only here for the Battle Mage training, realistically. So... honestly, I don't really want to waste 750 gold, which takes a while to get. I think I'd rather jump over to the Thieves Guild at this point. We can't join the Greybeards. I would have joined the Greybeards to pick up the Thuum, but we can't join those because we're Ideal Masters, so... I think we're going to leave the Mages Guild and try and join the Thieves Guild if possible, just for the cash. Oh, well that was quick. I've been inducted into the Thieves Guild. Here I am. Alright, so obviously the highest level gives plus 15% tax, which is huge. Young Magical Keith is developing a kind disposition towards others. That's good. That's fine. A kind necromancer he will be. So he's conquesting Jodestone. I'm fine with my vassals declaring wars, to be completely honest with you. We have a lot of boys to sacrifice to Himea tomorrow, don't we? Literally boys. As in, my poor son. Oh, what happened to him? Did he die? Maybe I can't sacrifice my son. That would make sense, otherwise it would allow you to get around Gavelkind very, very easily, wouldn't it? He's Ascendant and Interventionalist, so he's quite powerful right now. Let's go ahead and make an offering here for some souls. And we'll sacrifice all these randomers. I don't know who they are, just people we've been getting from sieging most likely. Just feed them to Himea Mora. And now we can go Wealth of Oblivion. Anything good? Got an Ebony Ring. Wow. General Opinion plus 4, Sex Appeal plus 4. That's pretty good. With a few of those stacked, you can have 5 rings. Sorry, 6 rings apparently. Maybe it's because we're out if we have an extra finger or something. But if we get all 6 rings being an Ebony Ring, that's a quite a hefty amount of additional. Obviously plus 16 to our General Opinion. Might be quite handy doing that. Now we can give away our items we don't want. I'll keep the Strange Chest because we could get something good out of it, but it's a loot box. Alright, I think it's more or less time to declare war. These people are ravaged by disease. Once it leaves our own land, it might be time to move in. Again, I really like... maybe we should move to Theology focus for a bit. I'm going to move to Theology just for a chance of getting souls so we can more quickly make that temple. Can I pardon her? Can I, is there any way I can, I like having this, what I'm trying to say is I like having this open here so I know if I can imprison people, but I don't want to imprison my wife. So I have to manually check if there's anyone new to imprison, and it's not particularly ideal, I'll be honest. Castle infrastructure needs to be level 1. Well, I'm absolutely going to do that because the soul harvesting is incredible. Soul Scourge plus 6 a month? That's insane. And we can do that in all of our castles, I assume. This is actually a... oh, that is a castle. However, it's obviously Bosma culture, which is why it looks different. Anyway, let's go ahead and build these in all of our castles, because that's insane. I'd like to also revoke some titles here. I've accidentally given too much land. Is there any way... let's try and get him to rebel. And then we can revoke his titles, ideally. Because this guy's got too much land. He's got both Stonefall and Elden Rush, and I would kind of like to have more castles for building soul harvesting in. So what we will do is... if we open the spellbook and just curse him, let's go ahead and polymorph him into a chicken. There we go. Minus 56 now. Request excommunication. I mean, obviously we can't excommunicate him because they're a different... oh no, he is! Ideal Masters Worship. I had no idea. Okay, let's... what else can we do? We could repulse. Make other people repulsed by him. And ideally, if we get him down to minus 100, he'll start plotting against me. And at that stage, we can throw him in prison. Or he'll rebel. Either way, we can revoke its titles. Frenzy vassals. I'm just casting anything at this point to get to minus 100. All right, perfect. Let's close the spellbook, so I don't want to unintentionally spend. And now my son is plotted against very suspiciously, very suddenly. I think we all know who that is, but obviously we're not going to find out for a while yet. How is she doing? 3,000 men. She's at war with somebody. The Somerset Isles. Ah. But to be fair, they are much larger than I thought. See, they've sort of expanded out quite significantly here. We could always go into Snapvine. They are tribal, so it's kind of difficult to tell how much land they have, but they are in 3 wars at once. Let's take Thormar. Now's the time to take Thormar. Do we have troops raised? Oh, we do have troops raised. So let's go ahead and declare war for... We could take the whole province. Because, oh, I forgot we took the Warlord focus. Let's take the whole province. Sod it. Now, obviously, we can only do this once. But I feel like that's a massive amount of land. I might give away the land in elsewhere, or at least grant it and make it independent so we have some pretty strong allies. We're looking for any of her troops. Okay, our allies are also joining the war. We don't really want to join together. Are they her troops? They are. You know what? Let's finish the siege. Okay, they just became independent. They are elsewhere, to be fair. So this is actually the border here. So we might make all of the cats independent because I don't really want to be dealing with cat rebellions on top of everything else we've got going on. Let's go kill their army. Yeah, he does deserve greatness. Alright, hopefully we can cut them off here. There we go. Someone else has sieged all of their provinces. That's very annoying. Who is it? So it's just cats. So chances are they're not taking Valenwood. They're just trying to get independence. Which is fine, because it means we're not wasting our time here. If we can gain charitable. Come on, arbitrary. Oh. Got vain. Chaste, ambitious, kind. He's a mixed bag, I'll be honest. Quite a mixed bag. Conscientious. Sure. Conscientious isn't necessarily a bad trait. Okay, well, we've done all we can. We've got to wait for their other wars to end now before we can declare peace. Unless we've got anything else I've missed at all. We could siege down, or help siege down this province here. Some more Thieves Guild quests. Let's go ahead and help this out. If anything, it'll speed up. There we go, right. So somebody got peace. Which means we can now start sieging everything down. Again, we need to beat these cats to our war goals. I'm actually going to go like this and send our vassal armies to go and siege elsewhere. Not the province, as in other areas. He actually came out pretty well then, 23, but he's a lunatic. Oh my god. Magical Keith. You were the chosen one and you failed me. Let's go ahead and rank up. We'll head this way. I'll get my vessels to start from there and move up. We'll start from this angle. Hopefully that way we can beat their counter sieges. 99%. One more. 100%, and they are asking for peace anyway. Wow. That's a lot of land we've just snatched, and we've pretty much re-established the borders with elsewhere now, so that's pretty great. We've become a warlord, which is obviously not phenomenal. And we got a lot of land we've got to give away. Alright, let's pick an ambition. Show bravery in battle, see the round prosper, become a king. Obviously we'll go for that. Warlord trait gives a diplomacy, a general opinion, and a defense malice, but I feel like what we got out of it more than, you know, makes up for it. Let's go ahead and educate our last son as well. He's 7, so we haven't missed too much of his education. We've picked up a lot of tribe lands. Shit. I mean, ideally, what we want to do now is there's a lot of Iliad ruins here. It's a real shame I'm going to have to give that away because I don't really want to keep. Let's have a look at the du jour. Yeah, they're all undeveloped tribal provinces, so it's really not worth me keeping. We need to become a king before we can give away any land. And we can. Very lucky. Alright. So let's go ahead and make some duchies. Are we out of... What do we need? Money? We need money. So let's go ahead and borrow some. God, this episode has gone on for a long time. And then we will quickly create some duchies, and then we'll call it there. So the Duchy of Thormar. I'm going to give away... That was 3. That one's 3. Okay, we'll go ahead and create the Duchy of Thormar. You are an Aliad. Yeah, you know what? I'll give it to you. Thormar? The council say no. Oh, that's because I've got a lot of empty seats. Alright. Can we get loyalists? Potentially. Yes, that's 1. Right, we'll just get loyalists for now, and we'll reshuffle if we have to later on. So we'll grant you Thormar. Don't think that went against the council, did it? I probably should have double-checked that. I was just assuming the loyalists would vote in favour. And we did lose a chancellor there. Magical Keith is, unfortunately on my council, which isn't great. I'm also going to designate my heir. Let's give us honorary titles just so he gets off our back a little bit. Do I need to give plus 15? Keeper of the Aviary? Sure. He's not loyalist, he's actually malcontent, which is kind of a pain. We can hold a grand tournament now. That's different. Okay, let's go ahead and create Eastwood. And who are we going to give that to? Give that to you. Oh no, wait, you're Bosma. It's a good job I double-checked that. You're a chicken. Is this... No, this is all Valenwood. It's just been converted to Riddlethar, the Khajiit religion. Oh my god, we're going to have so many religious problems. Anyway, let's go ahead and find someone to give this land to quickly. Let's see here. My religion, my culture. If we go ahead and save this as filter 1 as well. Sort by stewardship. Sort by stewardship, thank you. Malamain. Congratulations, you are now the Marla Pencil of Eastwood. What else have we got to give away? We're Snapvine. We can't actually create that yet, so we're just going to dump it all on one vassal and then give him the duchy, or he can make it himself. So we give it to this dude. Pretty good commander as well, so. I just want to give him Cathdar. Some of you are probably thinking, this would be better if I gave it to separate dukes. And then, separate counts and then put them all under one duke. However, I don't think it's entirely necessary, seeing as we could crush any rebellions we've got. Snapvine. I'm just giving it 3 different dudes because the council won't approve otherwise. Mainly because my council are unlanded. Balfour. Include lower titles, there we go. We'll make one of those our, most likely our, what's it, steward? Yeah, we'll make him the duke when we can afford it. That's it for today. He's the Cult of Meridia. Shit. Should have noticed that. Won't be going to him then. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next episode to sort out some borders and conquer some more.